guys, welcome back to my channel. I want to start this video by giving my sincerest condolences to the families of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, Tony McDade, and so many more I can't even list right now. There is a lot going on right now, and in the midst of a global pandemic that is already disproportionately killing us, we have been forced to take the streets in protest. And while these protests are every bit necessary, it's still heartbreaking and exhausting that we have to do this in the first place. So I thought now would be a really good time to do a video that I've been meaning to do for a while, but quite honestly never just had the time. I'm going to be covering tips as well as resources that are available for anyone who's struggling right now and needs it. Obviously, this is not an exhaustive list and does not contain all the resources that are out there, but these are just a few resources that I found to be very helpful during this trying times. So I want to start first by giving a few self-care tips that have been really helpful for me and I think can be helpful for anyone who is dealing with a lot right now and doesn't know how to sort of get away from all the chaos and sort of cope and manage. Tip number 1, recognize your capacity. You cannot give more than you have. So it's really important to recognize when you are reaching a level where you're going to be beyond exhausted and overwhelmed and take a step back. Taking a step back can look like a lot of things depending on how active you are, how much organizing you're involved in. For me, it's been really helpful to step away from social media from time to time. I myself am a person who spends a lot of time on social media. It's been really hard because I'm constantly bombarded with images and videos and discussions about Black bodies being harmed, and it all just becomes really exhausting. So for me, one of the practices that I've been utilizing is sort of deciding on a limit at the beginning of the day of how much I'm going to spend on social media and really trying to stick to that. I have failed, but I think it's definitely helped me because before I made this this time limit and this time constraint for how much time I'm going to spend on social media, I remember I was just constantly absorbing all this hard and negative information. So, and it's important, which is why I can't 100% step away from social media, but to be constantly absorbing it is too much and doesn't help anybody and most certainly does not help you. So it's really important to gauge how much time you're spending on social media to recognize the effect that it's having on you mentally and emotionally and take that step back when you need to. So limit your time on social media, and when you are on social media, make sure that your time is productive, that you're sharing information, that you're learning, that you're engaging with people who are trying to make the world a better place and gaining tools to participate in this movement and be involved and engaged to the best of your abilities. Tip number 2, allow yourself to feel your feelings. It's really important to recognize when you're avoiding your feelings and to give yourself the time and the space to feel them, to put them into words and maybe hopefully figure out how you're going to deal with them and how to productively feel your emotions and deal with them. This brings me to tip number 3, which is utilizing all the available resources. So I listened to a few podcasts. One of the ones that I really love is Therapy for Black Girls, and they have so many amazing episodes, but they have this one episode that they uploaded rather recently in April about creating a coping kit for when you're emotionally overwhelmed. So I created a list of Black run mental health podcasts that you can listen to. One of my other favorite ones is Let's Talk Bra, which focuses on Black masculinity, and they go beyond just mental health. They have discussions on Black male privilege and patriarchy on Black women, which I encourage everyone to check out these podcasts, especially if finding a therapist or talking to somebody isn't something that's available for you right now. And obviously, a podcast cannot take the place of an actual therapist, but this is a valuable resource to have for the time being. Tip number 4, avoid people who want to argue for the sake of argument. We are dealing with some pretty heavy things right now, and I feel like a lot of us are already at our emotional capacity. The last thing you need is to be engaging in conversations that do nothing but tire you and exhaust you. So avoid people who are looking for arguments, who want to make your life difficult. Avoid internet trolls. Avoid the comment section of any social media page. That means Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just avoid comment sections in general. And if you're using social media, talk to people who actually care, who are paying attention, and who aren't going to exhaust you. One of the most important things that I've learned during this time is that I have people in my life who are not Black, but actually care about what's happening to Black people. So if I'm going to talk about racial justice issues, I'm going to talk to the Black people in my life and the non-Black people and allies who actually give a shit. I'm not engaging with trolls, and I'm not teaching anyone. Don't teach. Right now is not the time. I think there's a time and space for it. And if you yourself really know that you have the emotional capacity and the mental capacity to be able to argue with somebody and to try and teach somebody, then go ahead. But if you know that you don't have the capacity for that right now, it's okay to take a step back. There is so many resources out there. And if I've learned anything during this time, is that people are ignorant because they want to be ignorant, not because there's not enough people out there trying to educate them. I personally feel like the job of educating ignorant racist people is the job of allies, not our job. We're already doing enough. We're on the ground fighting these battles and honestly just trying to survive. So if you don't have the emotional capacity, don't engage with people like that. My last tip is celebrate Black joy. I know there is a lot going on right now, but if I know anything, it's that Black people have always survived and thrived, and we will continue to survive and thrive. Even in the midst of a global pandemic and social unrest, there is so much Black joy around us. Take the time to enjoy it, be a part of it, create it, be happy. And that's all the tips I have. In the description box, I've put the link to my Linktree, which has petitions to sign, places to donate, books to read, movies to watch. And it goes without saying that obviously it is not an exhaustive list of all the resources that are available, but it's a good place to start. You can always find more, and I encourage everybody to always look for more information. If you see anything on my Linktree that inspires you to go and look for something else, then I've also put a list of books, videos, podcasts created by Law for Black Lives. It mainly focuses on police abolition, but it's still a great resource, and it's a part of the discussions that we're having right now. So I highly encourage everybody to read the books or listen to the podcast. I just want to end this video by saying that Black Lives Matter means every Black life matters, including yours. So please take care of it. Thank you.